Greetings, YouTube. Let's talk about jean sizing, specifically men's jeans, hopefully suited to your waist size. Now, men's jeans have a certain sense of logic about them, wherein there is a waist diameter and a inseam length. So it'll be 36-30. That's what I normally wear, a 36-30, though I often wear a 36-32 because I'm usually 99% of the time buying my jeans at thrift shops. So if I get a 36 I like and it's 32, I buy them. I'm wearing them with boots anyway, so I don't really care. And that would mean, at least in your mind, that 36 is 36, because if you take two yardsticks purchased at two different stores and put them next to each other, they're going to be the same length. But it doesn't work quite that way when it comes to men's jeans. Depending on the brand can really matter when it comes to waist size, because it can vary from brand to brand to brand. And even within the same brand, different styles of jeans can have slightly different waist sizes, even if they all say 36s, for example. And even within the same particular line, they can be different. Now, why can they be different? Now, this is an interesting fact that I did not know about. I have a good friend, her name's Dee, and at one time she was a model. And when she was working in the fashion industry, she's 5'9", and when she was young, she was rail thin and stunningly beautiful. She's still stunningly beautiful, but now she has a much better, much healthier athletic build than she had when she was a kid. And I actually didn't realize until I was long afterward, I actually bumped into her once when she was still in high school. I didn't know this. Somebody mentioned it, and I said, yeah, I was with this person. And I'm like, what? That was you in that look? It was very strange. But she told me a story about how they cut jeans. So when a factory gets a load of denim, they get these huge rolls of denim, they layer them so that you have, say you got 30 layers of jean fabric that goes forward, and then they bring this big goddamn dial down onto it to cut out the sections of the pants that are going to then be sewn into jeans. This is one of the reasons we have so much fabric waste in big industrialized clothing, is because they're going to end up with all these little odds and orders and pieces that don't get used for anything. And so we're just throwing that crap away. It's very wasteful. It's one of the reasons I buy thrifted stuff, because at least I'm not contributing as much to the waste stream by buying used. And when they do this, as the dye is cutting through those layers of fabric, it doesn't cut the same, because the layers on top are going to be affected by that dye differently than the layers on the bottom. So if you were to take all of the top layer pieces that make up a pair of jeans and make a pair of jeans out of them, and all of the bottom layer pieces that make up a pair of jeans and make a pair of jeans out of them, and then compare them to each other, there will be a variance between those two jeans, the top and the bottom. And it's going to matter. And it's even worse because you're not necessarily going to get all tops and all bottoms, so you get pieces all over the place in this that could come together, so you could find jeans that are very similar to each other in appearance in the same brand line. Because, like, I don't know how many brand lines Levi's got, for example. They got bunches of them. But even within like a 501, you're going to find variations in that 501. Now, admittedly, the variations within that line is not going to be huge, but they're going to be there. And if you have a certain body shape, that may matter to you. And don't even get me started on the absolute absurdity of women's clothing sizes, where a 2 for one company can be a 0 at another, and a 4 at one company is a 6 someplace else, or maybe it's an 8, or it makes no sense. Literally, go look it up. It's absolute insanity. But even in men's jeans, there's a big difference. Now, since I buy a lot of used stuff, I know brands I like LL Bean and Maker's Mark are my two favorite jeans. Kirkland's are also solid. I'll pick those up if I can find them. But recently I tried one called Blue Mountain, I think it is. I think they might be the house brand for Tractor Supply, but I'm not sure. And those are pretty solid jeans. And I had just recently I picked up like a Blue Mountain, a Maker's Mark, and an LLB, and the I had a pair of LL Beans I just recently retired. I donated them because even though I did not want to wear them anymore, there was no reason you couldn't wear them. I just wear holes in the back pockets. The rest of the jeans were fine. So if they wanted, some painter needs a pair of crappy jeans, they could wear those. And those, the pair I just retired of LL Beans were tight on me. I could button them at 36. And I was feeling like I gained a lot of weight, and I knew I put some weight on, but I didn't think I gained that much. And then I went and I bought the Maker's Marks and the Blue Mountain. I put them on. These things are swimming on me. Again, all 36s. And I could literally pull them on and off without unbuckling them. I don't have to zip them, nothing. Whoop, whoop, off me without a problem. And then just this weekend, at the time of this filming, I purchased a pair of LL Beans. And I washed them, and I did the whole 9 yards. I tried them on, and they're much more comfortable than the previous set of LL Beans. Now, there's the possibility, because I am buying used, that they had washed them in hot water. I don't do that. I tend to do a cold, warm wash, but I dry them high because I like to get my clothing done quickly. A lot of the things that I own that don't need to be dried get hung up. Like all my T-shirts get hung up. Almost all of my wife's clothing gets air dried, wool socked. So we don't. I'm not drying everything. I'm not shrinking everything, to put it that way. But I do just, their work pants, they go in the dryer, like with the towels and everything else. But I don't care if these things get done on a high temperature. But there's a difference between those two LL Bean jeans, and if you had not told me they were the same brand, just blindfolded me and handed me try these on, I would have told you they were different jeans. Really, seriously, they felt that much different on my body. So sometime when you want to get something off the rack, you may not get what you think you're purchasing. Now, one of the problems is that we're currently in a pandemic, at least at the time of the filming of this video. I don't know when this is filming. Film video is going to go up. I often have my gear videos up, done months in advance. And you can't try them on at a thrift shop. No thrift shops are allowing you to try things on right now. Okay, that's just not happening. And I don't even know if they're allowing it at the brand stores or not. Like Target, Walmart, are they doing it? I don't know. I don't really buy clothing at those places unless it's like a discount T-shirt or something. And there is a method for finding out if you have the right size pants that doesn't require you to try them on, and that's the neck method. Now, I don't know if you ever used the neck method. You just take the pair of jeans, put it around, and put them around your neck. And if they're doing this, not just touching, but ever so slightly overlapping, you're good to go. They will fit your waist, unless you have a severely unusual body shape. The ratio between your neck and how much weight you have on it and your waist and how much weight you have there is going to be very similar. Now, I know this works because I'm currently around a 185, 190, I think, right now. But I used to be 230, and it worked at 230, and it works now. Actually, I have no clue how much I weigh. I haven't weighed myself in quite a while. But the last time I did a weight, it was like 184. So I'm like, we'll just say 185 for the conversation. So at 185, the ratio from here and here is good. And it was also, that ratio was also good when I was at 230. All right, so that's a significant difference to say that. So at least the way my weight was on my throat and the weight on my waist, that ratio functioned. And that's also a good way of finding it if you find a pair of jeans at a flea market or a yard sale or something, or a thrift shop that, like an antique store. Sometimes you find antique stores, so somebody will just be getting rid of some stuff. I've bought tools at places that don't sell tools because somebody just wanted to get that in their booth to get rid of it. Okay, that's how I got an impact driver. $12. And so, again, neck, you're good to go. And if it's a shirt, you can just hold it up and kind of get an idea. But if it's a pair of pants, it's hard to do that. Do the neck method, and you're probably going to get the size you need. All right? But at least men's jeans kind of make a sense. But there's still going to be variation. So, well, a guy is probably not going to have to try on 5 of the same jeans before they find one that fits them the the right way. I know women who've had to do that. My friend Dee has had to do that because Dee actually grew hips at one point in her life and still has them. And hips can get in the way of fitting jeans, even though they're jeans designed for women, so you think that they would kind of, and it makes no sense to me. It really doesn't. But men's jeans kind of make sense, but they also kind of don't make sense because you have to know that from a brand, it's going to different, and even within a brand, it's going to have some variations. So try the neck method if you can't try them on, and if you do try them on and they don't fit quite the way you like, try on more than one pair, because you might discover that you're getting the fabric from different parts of that assembly process. So you might find one that fits you better because it was put together in a way that fits your particular body more efficiently. I know it's just weird, I'm talking about jeans, but I wear jeans every day at work. That's all I wear at work. I don't really wear jeans outside of work. I wear cargo pants or cargo shorts when I'm not at work. Okay, that's what I prefer on the weekend. But when I'm at work, I just wear jeans. I wear cheap jeans, like the jeans, like the little beans I just got. I paid $3 for them. Okay, so I wear cheap stuff at work because I know if I get it dirty or I get a hole in it or I get oil, grease on it in a way that I do not want to wash that, they get tossed, they become rags, they get donated. The pockets just have the back pockets just have a couple of wear spots in them. So they go on to a bigger and better life in some way. But that's what I want. I want cheap clothing. I don't want to be buying new stuff when I don't have to. And all the cargo pants and all the shorts I'm wearing right now, which are Aeropostals, are off the rack. I mean, at a thrift shop. I just wanted a colorful pair of shorts. They're blue and white and all kinds of different funky Hawaiian style patterns on them because it's summertime and I wanted something that was a little, not just a pair of sweats. But again, it was like $6, I think, at a thrift shop. So buy your clothing used. You won't regret it. You'll save a hell of a lot of money. You're not putting as much crap into the waste stream, and you often are benefiting some kind of a charity because lots of thrift shops are in fact owned by charities. Not all of them, but a lot of them are owned by charities. Alrighty, so let's talk about jeans and jean sizing. Is there a method that you've discovered that helps you to get a pair of jeans that really does fit you perfectly? Or do you have the same problem that depending on the brand name, there will be a significant difference in those? Because like I said, between the Maker's Marks and the LL Beans, there's a big difference. And between the last two pair of LL Beans I've had, there's a significant difference. So sometimes it can be annoying